Hello everyone, this is Zfox from Turn4 Faeria. We're getting ready to start the Turn4 Faeria Classic in a few weeks, and I thought I'd just put a video up to talk about Pauper Power deck building. The first event is on March 4th, and it will deal with a common-only limited format for the tournament. Following that, there'll be 3 different other tournament modes that you can check out each Sunday at 8 p.m. CET. And if you'd like more information, you can look in the description for the website, the Discord, and the Battlefy connection, so you can see when and where these Turn4 Faeria Classic tournaments are occurring. Today, I'd like to take a look at the Pauper format, in particular look at deck building for the Pauper Power. And I'm going to run through a blue-green deck that looks at some interesting synergy between cards that have 5 health, creatures, that have 5 health, and also enchantments that you can use in an interesting card, Ancient Boar. And what we're looking to do really in today's episode is talk a little bit about what the tension that will exist while you're playing a Pauper Power deck. What are the things you need to be especially focused on? What are the things you can expect to see? And we're also going to try this list on the ladder so I can show you maybe some of the discrepancies that exist for playing against really finely tuned decks that you would see in the meta in Standard, and what it will be like to play a limited format. I'm going to talk about things like the inefficiencies that exist for Pauper Power, how you have to maybe put a little more pressure on your opponent because you don't have the ability to do board clears and those sorts of things. So let's move on over and take a look at the deck that I have ready to go. Here you can see I'm calling this the blue-green 5 Pauper, and what we're looking at is building on a couple of synergies. First of all, we're looking at building on the Ancient Herald. This is a really strong creature in normal formats because of its cost reduction to creatures that have 5 or more health. At 6 Faeria, it's a pretty good buff. Other creatures that are 6 Faeria, some of them have, like Groundshaker, have a little bit more impact immediately on the board, but this one's fairly decent, and we're going to try to maximize the kind of efficiency we can get out of a card like this by attending to particular synergies. The first one off the bat is going to be Tyrnax, which is, generally speaking, actually a great card, and it's good in Pandora and other kinds of formats where you have maybe a limited range of options for just a chunky, meaty creature in blue. It's not really well tuned for the current meta because of all the control features we have. But at 5 Faeria, this is actually a fairly decent body, and we're going to try to look at how it synergizes as well. But basically, Ancient Herald will reduce this to 3. So 3 Faeria for a 4/6 is a fairly decent body. We're going to see if we can give it some wheels and some other pieces. Sturdy Shell, another really great card to synergize with Ancient Herald. It goes down to 0 Faeria, so it's free if it procs the Ancient Herald. And it's an 05 aquatic, so you can get this out right away. It's fairly efficient, it's just a useful card, and we'll show how we're working in Gabrian Enchantment to make it even more useful. Over on the green side, we've got Living Willow with its 7 health, another really cheap card that gets a lot of value from the Ancient Herald. A 1-cost taunt is great, and at 1/7 this is an amazing card. It's actually useful and was used at least in the past in different metas for blue-green. We also have the Ancient Boar, which I think is sort of the interesting card that I'm really testing out with this deck. I don't know if this deck is actually going to be that strong in just a pure Pauper format, but I want to more showcase today what kind of cards might come to the forefront if you're thinking about synergies. And Ancient Boar really does for me. Notice we have a 4/5 creature that is overcosted, but because of its special reduction here, it can actually be a really interesting card. So if you control a creature with 5 life or more, it costs 2 less Faeria. So that puts it at about 3 Faeria if we've dropped a Herald, a Tyrnax, a Sturdy Shell, or a Living Willow. So we have quite a few creatures that can proc this. But more than that, what's really interesting is its 2 wildlands allow us to play mostly on the blue side and then throw green in if we need it. It's a really useful way to keep an efficiency in ramp, which is an important aspect of, I think, the Pauper format. That the problem is you have to squeeze your decks for all they're worth as far as how much you're going to use your wheel for drawing, how much you're going to use your wheel for Faeria, how much you're going to use your wheel for land. And in this case, that's a nice little added benefit. Dash 2 is going to be helpful for getting us close to the face and possibly getting lands out, which is really cool. And also, this also synergizes with Ancient Herald, so that we could have potentially a 1-cost 4/5 with -2 coming on the board. Pretty cool. Let's take a look at some of the synergy that we're looking to capitalize on alongside these main creatures. The first one to draw our attention to is Gabrian Enchantment. This is a go-to card for a lot of blue-green decks, and it used to be really great when we had predators on board. We could just pile up our Living Willows and then throw a predator down and feed, but we don't have the option to feed anymore. This is great for cycling and thinning our deck out, but it also works really well with cards like Sturdy Shell, obviously, Living Willow especially, and it'll go together nicely with a couple of these cards. In fact, Herald and Tyrannax really benefit from this Gabrian Enchantment because 6 damage is actually a really important threshold in Standard as well as in the Pauper format. Notice how the Tyrannax has 6 health, as does the Ancient Herald, and you have a lot of pings coming off of cards that have 7 health, so like Verduran Forces, for example. But there's a lot of utility in actually bumping their attack up by 2 in this case, and by 1. So it does get some value on these creatures, but it's also really great on Shell and Willow, and synergizes extremely well with Tiki Piper, which is going to be our 1 utility creature alongside the Caretaker. This is going to give us our +4 health that synergizes great with Gabrian Enchantment. And more than that, Gabrian Enchantment is going to benefit all the creatures when Tiki Piper is put to use. We're going to put this together with a Silent Horsemaster, which is going to get our guys into position better. So we've packed 3 of these guys away, and we have 2 Falcon Dives and a Shifting Tide to round things out. So let's take a look at running this through. I'll see if I can get us into a match quickly, and we'll just check out what a Pauper deck might do in a regular format game. I've been playing a few recently. I was playing a Pauper Red and a Pauper Oblivion, and I think the Pauper format has brought out some really interesting flavor recently, and these decks, the red and the yellow, have actually won in Standard, and I've been climbing the ladder with them, which is sort of crazy. I know we're below 15, so we're sort of out of range of meta decks by and large. But the point is that you still get a chance to see some pretty interesting stuff, and I'll say in particular that red in its burn qualities has a lot to offer for the Pauper format, because fat creatures are going to stay on the board a lot longer. You have no Last Nightmares, you have no Frogifies, no Choking Sands. Especially significant is the Choking Sand for any red decks. Your Shed and Brutes, all your Faeria reduction cards like the Brigand and the Boss are not going to get peeled by a Choking Sand. Really, really valuable things. And also the Gift of Steel is in common, so you have, I think, 4 different creatures in the Pauper format in red, including the Kobold Warlord, that can benefit from the Gift of Steel, which seems to me a fairly significant strategy that'll probably be deployed going forward. But I'd also like to think that things like the speed of maybe this blue-green can actually get past some of those, and the sturdiness of these creatures with Gabrian Enchantment might be able to do some damage. But for now, even though this red and this yellow were winning on ladder, I think there also is real potential for them to be very strong going into the Pauper format. Hopefully we'll get a game here in a second. I'd like to remind you guys, if you're interested in checking out the Turn4 Faeria Classic, you can do so by following the links below in the description. And here we go. We are into a game. So let's see if we get truly a meme deck coming out of EXP Meme, or if we will play against something a little sturdier. At 14, I expect this guy is trying to climb, and therefore we will have a little bit of a difficult go of it. Tiki Piper is an interesting card to keep off the bat, but I think we want to avoid that, actually. And the reason is we want to start blue, and we want to start with the reduction cards. Oh, we got Tiki Piper back, so we'll play it if we have to. I think we'll try to take a line at a mid-range level, curling around the side. If he starts to one side, then we'll try to fight him because we have Willows plus Gabrian Enchantment. We'll maybe explore and go to the center. One thing you'll notice when we're playing on the ladder with a Pauper deck is, as I was saying before, you have to be more efficient with all of your choices. You have to think about exactly what land you want. Sometimes, especially if you're playing multiple colored decks, what color of land you want to show up at these critical junctures. Do you want a forest here, or do you want a lake? What are you going to drop here? A Tyrnax? Is that going to be more important to drop that there? And maybe a forest here? Do you have an option to do that? Do you have a choice? These are things you have to be a little more efficient about because your cards are not going to have the same quality. Okay, so it looks like a sack deck of some kind. And we probably want to get close to his face to deal with that. I think we can do the Pauper here, just to match his collection. And I mean, the boar can still come out because of the 5 here, which will be useful, and we'll have a living willow fairly soon. We have to sort of play lakes, and then play. I think we have to play a lake here first. And then we have to get to our enchantment. So when we get to our 4 land threshold, then we can double land. So we want to maybe get some of that into an aggressive slot. Also, we can sturdy shell. We could also fake going in here and drop the sturdy shell, and then we can possibly shifting tide. For the Gabrian Enchantment. I think that might be worth trying. Bone Collector is a common card, so maybe this guy is playing a common deck. I have no idea. I think that'll be my go-to, because if we clean these Bone Collectors up, that'll be really useful overall. So we need Lake here, and we'll just leave this guy in double collection. We'll shifting tide to move our land up. We will step, draw, and swing. Horsemaster is going to be interesting. Down the road, we can get him over here and possibly swing. If he drops something here, we might be in trouble. He did put a lake there, though, so we could drop back. We can get him. But you can also you already see. I mean, we have a lot of Faeria banked up. We'll be able to just clean that off. Oh no, what? So he's giving us a free trait on that with this creature. That's amazing for us. Because we get to double collect and drop a living willow right by his face. Is there a better play for us? If we come in here and kill this with the Tiki, is that better? It buffs this. Then you can buff it and clear out and have a 5/5. I think it's better just to step up. Drop a living willow. Because we have the silent Horsemaster to boost this in here and deal some damage. And if he steps out of place, we can maybe catch him off guard with another enchantment. We're looking to draw now if we can to get our boars going. Now his tech cards are gonna be better than ours, by and large, but we'll see if there's power in some of these things. Yeah, so here's his tech cards coming in. Oh, Yakapult, interesting. So we still get to clear this, and I think we need to draw here. Ancient Boar. Alright. So Ancient Boar at 3 is really useful. Step down, Ancient Boar here to block. I think this is okay. We have a lot of Faeria too, just realizing. Let's get this guy down. If we get something, we can slide right across and hit his Bone Collector. If we draw another enchantment. So we're hanging in there. We're protecting ourselves because this can hit our face. But we're protecting our 1/7. Ouch. Oh, Gift of Rakoa, nice. So this is like an OTK deck. Sweet. So thankfully we have 0 way to deal with that. And when I mean thankfully, I mean not so thankful. But we can taunt it, possibly. If we step in here, swing down, we come up here and taunt it. Let's start with this. See what we get. Tyranax, okay. We'll head towards the 2/2. And we'll plop Tyranax here. We need the body. We're not completely dead. He traded. Lovely. We can Horse Master to get our other taunt in the way, possibly. That catapult's just nasty. That catapult's nasty. Oh. He gets a decent trade on the 3/2. That's annoying. So we might have to swing here. Oh, Falcon Dive. Lovely. 4/8. Okay, so we can deal with this right now if we wanted to. I think we draw. Let me see what we get. Living Willow. Okay. Let's Falcon Dive here. Step past and swing. We will Horse Master. And we'll stop him from moving. Oh, this 3/2's kind of in the way. He can get a good trade if he builds a land here. Oh, no, he can't. He's got to swing here. Whew. I planned all that, guys. I planned all that. Just relax. Now we really have to draw every turn. Lucky Falcon Dive. We're coming into 3+1s for 5, so we can drop another Tyranax. We have another Ancient Boar. Oh, Crystal Flower. Nasty. That's nasty. Herald, okay. So we have to clear here. Oh, that's frustrating. If we swing here, and Herald here, or do we Herald here? 4, 8, 9. I think Herald's got to go here, and this Living Willow has to get in the way again. it's gonna be close, guys. We're gonna lose. He's gonna swallow another guy, and then we're dead. No, we might have made it. We might have made it. Why did he jump over there? That's bizarre. What? What? He had lethal. Guys. He's just toying with me. Alright. Fine, you'd like to play that way. So he missed lethal. Whale? Yeah, he's got whale. Okay. Well, that was unfortunate. But it was fun, right? Pauper Power in standard. Let's see if we can get another game in. So what are we looking to do? Again, against whale, you have to pressure anyways. So we got him down to 6 HP. He misplayed a couple of times. But the thing I think is really important to note is how important positioning is and moving your creatures around. That's what I love about the Pauper format, is you're looking at a game where, you know, one step with your creature makes a big difference because you don't have the removal to deal with it. So you have to play it more like a chess game where, you know, if the rook gets to an open file first, you know, you're screwed. So that's what I think was encouraging about that. We were pretty close. We got, you know, sucker punched by 2 flowers and a whale at the end, and just in time too. So, and we didn't get our good reductions on our creatures because we didn't have a herald off the bat. So I think on average, not too bad. This deck's pretty interesting. I don't think we would have done much better with the red Pauper, but maybe we'll look at that in another video. Let's see if we can get one more game in, and then we'll come back to the main page and say goodbye. Again, for those of you who are interested in joining in the Pauper Power tournament on March the 4th, you can check out the description for a link to the Discord, a link to an introductory video for the whole Turn4 Faeria Classic, and you can also see where you can sign up on Battlefy, which will be, the sign-ups will be coming soon. There's also people within the Turn4 Discord that are looking at different theory, looking at different decks that might be useful or good. So if you'd like to check out what they've thought about so far, I think Minakaro especially has a whole list of decks that he thinks are going to be strong for the Pauper format. You can check those out. Let's see, we got Sai Wen. Hopefully he's playing hardcore, because I want to play against some really strong decks and see how we do. Another one, okay. Jeepers, we're going to try to get our blue start. Yikes. Guys, we're getting wrecked. Okay. So we'll start green, I guess. Now if he rushes me, this is why we didn't go here, because if he's rushing us, then if we go here, it's basically a death trap. Blue. So water elemental? Okay, we can afford to do this. Because we have the enchantment. Oh, we got so unlucky, guys. We got unlucky again. Please don't have Beirut. If you have Beirut, we're in trouble. Wow. He got a herald. Are you kidding me? Okay. There's a boar. See, if he has Frogify, we're just in deep doo-doo. So we're going to do it as efficiently as we can. So that is worth 3 plus 2. He Frogifies it. We're sad. Yeah, he's going to Frogify it. Oh, this is over. But this is fun. Oh, here we go. Right? Let's get a lake in. Okay. Take out this first. Give him a bad trade. Step up here. So we get a Herald next turn, which is great. We need the Herald because we have to get, absolutely have to get our reduction. Humblebee Tuna. Okay, I don't know if he calculated that. So he can't do math. That makes me sad, guys. It makes me sad when people make these mistakes. You gotta count. You gotta press the count button. Let's get a land in here. Really, really quite important, actually. The reason we did that is we force him to make a land, or we get access to his face with this kind of a land here. Great, so we get a forest in here. No, never mind. Oh, guys, here's why I said the Gabrian Enchantment's so good. Are you ready for this? Oh, guys, are you ready? Are you ready? Forest. Gabrian. Oh, should have been a lake. I'm an idiot. That's okay. Is that his lake? Let's step here. All right. So now we have control of the board. This is amazing. If we get a Horsemaster, we can get a forward lake. Oh dear. That's nasty. I should have tiki'd him. I knew I should have tiki'd him. I could feel it. Could you feel it? I could feel it. Now, do we have any more? I don't think we do have any more enchantments. We've played 2. Maybe we have one more. So that was his whole turn, though, which is great for us. We won! We did it! Haha. Well, I think I'll stop the video, or at least the playing the games there, and just head back to the decks, where we can look at why that might have been interesting, what can be improved. So what we realize is this reduction is pretty significant. If you miss that, you're gonna not get one element of your efficiency that you're looking for in a Pauper deck, which is, for this deck, cost reduction on the key elements. So if this is buried, you're in trouble. But there is still the basic good synergy between Living Willow, Sturdy Shells early game, and the Gabrian Enchantment. Now, these are sort of precious, actually. There's only 3 of them. We don't have the other pieces to get boosted up. Silent worked out really well, helped us to swing the game. Tiki Piper was probably fine. Ancient Boar would have been fine in that game. We were rolling. We had all the Faeria we needed, and we had a Herald down, so we were and we got the reduction on one of our Willows. So I think it was a good piece, but notice how Herald was really central. So probably I would always try to mulligan for Herald as much as possible. Anyways, guys, let's just head back out to the Pauper Power section where I can talk about a little bit more what we're looking to do. Maybe next video I'll take a look at a red deck or a yellow deck like the ones I had shown you earlier with Burn and maybe some yellow rush with Oblivion Rider, which I think is an interesting option. All these to sort of bring you some videos that have to do with the Pauper format. Again, if you want to be in the tournament, first one is March 4th, and then we'll have one on a weekly basis on Sundays at 8 p.m. CET. And there you can find just an interest limited format for points for the FWC to get you into the finals for Abraham's elite event at the end of the season. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys in the Turn4 Faeria Discord. For now, this is Zfox signing off.